I'm Bonnie and this is Steve. Welcome to Spring Lean Boot Camp. This is your orientation video. So we want to go over a few housekeeping things so that you are comfortable and you know your way around Max Fitness and how you're going to schedule your classes and all that kind of stuff. We have some reminders for you, and we also are going to tell you how the boot camp's structured and what to expect out of the workouts. And lastly, we're going to go over diet. So first up, you have something you want to say? Okay. First up.
Evidently not.
Do you?
No.
Okay. First up is Zen Planner. So we use a software called Zen Planner, and it comes in an app form. So make sure you download the app. If you registered for boot camp online, you'll be using the same information that you put in there, your login information and your email address to log in to the Zen Planner app. Or if you make your reservations online, you also can use your same login credentials online. If you forgot your password or your email, you can click on forgot password and it'll reset your password and give you that information so you can log on. That's the first and foremost thing, because without that you cannot reserve your classes, and you need to reserve your classes. So the first thing you did is you enrolled. You got that taken care of. But now you have to make sure you're in the class that you want, and a couple of classes are already full. So you want to make sure all your classes are booked for the entire boot camp program. Now once the boot camp program is, you've booked all your classes, if something comes up in your schedule and you need to switch around, you absolutely can, depending on what's available that same day and another time. And most likely there will be something available. It also leads me to say this. If you have something come up and you can't make it, please try to get your 24-hour notice of cancellation to unreserve that class, to free it up for someone else that might need that time spot. So we do have a waiting list, and if you're on a waiting list for any class, later down the road, you end up seeing yourself on a waiting list because the class was full. As soon as someone cancels, it will notify you and say you're in, okay? All right, so just make sure you check your emails as well.
The Zen Planner is also how you're going to be checking off your own attendance as you come, because we like to see who's coming to class, who's not. And it's not a very effective program if you don't show up. So you're going to be using your Zen Planner also to check your own attendance.
This also, so you can't check your attendance on your app, but you can at the kiosk at the front, and our staff can also help as well. So there's a kiosk at the front, and it'll show your little picture, and you just click yes, and it makes the little green check mark. So it's checking in is very easy. You no longer have to type in your name. You can just use that one kiosk thing. So, and our front desk staff can help you with that. That is very helpful too, as I look and see who's been attending and who's missing, so that I can check on somebody if somebody is missing in action. We want to make sure that you're taken care of. Now, class schedule. So I have learned the hard way that not everybody reads their emails or the sign-up page, because I put the class schedule, kind of give you an idea of what the schedule is going to be, since this whole boot camp falls on spring break. Spring break's at the end, towards the end of the boot camp, and that's spring break week is actually the freebie week, the week we're not charging you for. So you're actually going to have a lighter workout schedule. So there's only Monday and Wednesday classes, that schedule, no Friday classes, and the schedule is limited. It's not going to have all the time slots. But we're also going to give you a free flex classes pass for that week so that you can do some bonus stuff.
Yeah, check out the flex classes. They're pretty cool. It's not quite as encompassing as the boot camp, but still very effective.
And they're 30-minute classes. We have a shred class, which is a HIIT training class, 30 minutes of high-intensity cardio, fat-burning style, and then a 30-minute mobility class, which is super nice when you're sore and tight, to work out those problem areas. So those are the flex classes. Those are opposite days of boot camp, so it's good complementary. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and I will be sending out email with a discount code for that as well if you wanted to add that to your routine, depending on how determined you are to reach a goal and how fast you want to reach it. If you're like me and you put on your bikini, you might be having those moments of I need to be in the gym every single day, so that might be a solution for you. Okay, so next up is the format and the training style. So what do you have planned for actually how the workouts are going to go?
We just came off of a boxing boot camp, which was great. That was a conditioning style boot camp. We're going to move into kind of splitting class up into parts. So it's going to start off with some strenuous weight training. We want to actually be weight bearing. We want to use some pretty decent resistance. So for the first 10 to 20 minutes, depending on the class, it'll all be weight training. We're going to partner up, and we're going to learn some basic lifts, some plyometric moves, things that are really going to get your anaerobic metabolism started. And then towards the end of class, we're going to start bleeding into more conditioning and more cardiovascular. You put those two things together, and it's super highly effective for burning fat and toning muscle. You know, at the end of boot camp, you just don't want to be down, 12 or 15 pounds and find out you're still just as flabby. You want to be, you want to feel the stamina, you want to feel the health effects, but you also want your physique to show the same. So we're going to be doing a little more weight training than in the past, and it's all going to be, instead of bleeding throughout the entire session, you're going to see that it's really contained to the first 15 or 20 minutes. When you come in, you feel strong. That's when we're going to do the weight training. Towards the end, when you may not feel quite as strong or the fatigue starts to step in, we're going to kind of take a step back, and we're going to be doing some of the conditioning there. I think you'll find that that's really, really effective.
What I like about it too is we're going to teach you guys how to spot each other and stuff. And I found that when you learn a lot of these techniques that we use in boot camp, they translate over to the weight floor so nicely. So after you're done with boot camp, you'll know what to do on the weight floor with the dumbbells and the barbells and stuff like that. And you'll also develop friendships and relationships within the boot camp. Those of you who are the repeaters, you know this. You have workout partners now. You have like a classroom of workout partners that typically work out around the same time as you. And that's one thing that I love about this BCX format that we use. And this is going to be very similar to our bikini boot camps and shred camps in the past, that format where we're teaching you how to use techniques and things that do overlap into the weight training floor. And we're going to give you homework so you learn equipment at the gym as well. By the time you're done with this, you're going to be like a gym pro. If you've never been to a gym before, I just want to encourage you. This is all about making you feel comfortable in the gym, helping you to know what to do to be effective in the gym, and then helping build your tribe so you've got people to do it with you to hold you accountable. This one's going to be a little bit more high accountability because of the partnering up. Somebody's going to be watching you while you're lifting. So maybe it's a little bit, we get away with some things when we're all working out and dying. Each of us are like in our own world. We're not paying attention to somebody else if they're resting. So this face-to-face, spotting each other and stuff like that, it actually can add a little bit more accountability too. So you've got somebody that's counting with you and knows if you're cheating. So we're all about the accountability this time, sculpting muscle, learning proper form, and then burning a ton of calories. So I'm excited about the format, and I think you will be too once you get involved in it.
We have an ulterior motive to boot camp, and we always have. So we've been doing this for quite some time, but the ulterior motive here is to change lives. And of course, we're putting you through these things, and we want to see kind of an acute change, something where you're losing weight or getting in shape over a month. But I think the ulterior motive, what we're trying to sneak in, is that you feel comfortable in the gym, you know how to work out, you get addicted to feeling good, regardless of what you're eating. Hopefully that we can teach you how to eat well also. But we want to have, if not a member for life, at least we have done something in your journey through life to make you kind of addicted to fitness, or at least see the benefits of having a fit lifestyle. So we're hoping that this format kind of shows you the different parts. It's not just running, it's not just calisthenics, it's not just weightlifting. And we're hoping that through the gamut of this boot camp that you guys really gain a respect and an adoration for a fit lifestyle.
I think too, no one wants to do something they're bad at or uncomfortable doing.
Unless it's eating pie. I don't care if I'm bad at it.
But so once we get you comfortable and confident, you're going to feel a lot more comfortable going to any gym. The other thing too is with the accountability and the friendships and the things that you make, and that's why we're really putting an emphasis on trying to stick to the same time frame, the class time that you train. Even though you might switch later on here and there if needed, we want you to have kind of your tribe and build that family, because one thing I've noticed over the years is we've had people come in and all they did is run maybe on a treadmill. As far as going into a gym, they did a class or they did a treadmill, but they never ventured out on the weight floor. And now I've got these same people that are, they've got their workout partners. They've got that confidence of working out on the weight floor. And that's what we want for you, whether you're traveling and you want to be comfortable in a hotel gym, or whether you want to be comfortable on your own and knowing what you're doing and how you're doing it and you're doing it correctly. That confidence in knowing that you're actually doing the exercises correctly.
Yeah, we want to increase your chances of success. So that's our motive.
Okay, all right, so on to the next thing, N-bodies. If you've never done an N-body before, all you need to do is just show up.
What an N-body is, it's a body composition. So instead of us taking a tape measure or doing skin calipers where we pinch you or put you in a tank of water where we underwater weigh you, we've got a machine that's quite scientific, and it uses skin impedance, and it's very accurate compared to some of the older skin impedance machines. But it's a body comp. It's going to let us know what's going on in your body as you lose weight, gain weight, as your water starts to shift. but super important. Bonnie, I'll talk about the InBodies.
So what we want to do is you want to come in and do an InBody before your first day. Ideally, I would like it to be done before your first day at the gym. Worst case scenario, if you have to do it like on a Tuesday morning, that's fine. But I really think it's best to do it before you've even introduced yourself to exercise, especially if you're new, if you're a first timer. The InBody will break down how many calories you burn at rest. It will tell you your goal weight. It'll tell you if it wants you to lose body fat or gain a certain amount of muscle. It'll give you some goals, realistic goals based on your height, your age, and that kind of thing. It'll also tell you how many pounds of fat you have and how many pounds of muscle you have. So at week to week, you'll be doing these InBodies the same time of day, or approximately same day a week. You'll do them weekly, and you can see where your body fat goes down, your muscle might be going up or staying the same. And this helps us to make dietary suggestions for you. If you're losing muscle mass, we know you probably need to get more protein in it, that kind of thing. So these things are not just about weighing. People say all the time, I don't need to get on that thing, I know I'm fat. That's not what it's about. This is about giving you a mark, and then every week we check and we use that to find out what your progress is like and what we might need to change with your calories or your macronutrients, and just giving you some good suggestions to correct the damage before it's too out of control, so that we make sure that you are getting results.
It's super important that when you do the InBody that you do it in the same state. So you need to be fasted for at least 4 hours, so no food or water for 4 hours. Try to go to the bathroom to empty your bladder, empty your stomach before you get on the machine, because it's that sensitive that it can measure body water and other material. Also important, you don't want to work out, because when we work out, our muscles fill up with blood, and that's going to skew your results as well. So we want to make sure that you haven't worked out in 4 hours, haven't drank or eaten in 4 hours, and that you've gone to the bathroom to evacuate everything you might. And then also, ladies, if it happens to be that time of the month, go ahead and it changes your body water, but make sure you at least mark on your InBody what's going on. Also, housekeeping tips for InBodies. We open at 5. You guys, some of the first classes are at 5:15. The InBody isn't really, we try not to do InBodies till about 30 minutes after we open. That gives our openers time to really serve you guys and make sure that you guys are getting coffee and you're getting into class and you're getting to where you need to go. And if we have a line of InBodies, sometimes they're still busy trying to open up the store or get set for the day. So we ask that you don't do your InBodies up to 30 minutes after we open. So on weekends we open at 8, so the InBody machine would be available at 8:30. And then on weekdays, we open at 5, so anytime after 5:30. But of course, you can't do it after a boot camp class because you've just exercised.
And if you're a 5:15 a.m.er, you're not going to be doing an InBody before class. You don't want to. You need to eat before. You need to make sure you have something in your stomach before class. And that's another thing I need to bring up. Is, first of all, and I don't think anybody has electrical devices, but if you have pacemaker or anything, an implant, you can't do the InBody. But I don't think anybody's got that in this particular boot camp, but just want to put that out there. But the second thing is you have got to eat something before boot camps, because we are doing all these power production moves, these strength moves and explosive, burpees and jump squats and things like that. And you need energy to do that. So don't go to a boot camp class on an empty stomach. You will peter out. So, but in just a second, we'll talk about what kind of nutrition you need to be looking for before your boot camp. So that's another reason you can't do the InBody before working out, unless you are working out later in the day where you have enough time to come and do your InBody, eat, and let it settle before boot camp. Now, going on to diet and nutrition. So if you're new, you want to make sure you log in or get the Lose It app. If you're an Isogenics client of mine, you'll get the IsoLife app, because they now have a calorie counter that has all of the products in it that you're using too. We do have a 30-day weight loss system. If you have needs for some nutritional support, fat burners, or just really good vitamins and minerals while you diet, because you don't want to be malnourished and hungry. I will tell you, being completely nourished makes a big difference on your cravings and how you feel while you're dieting. So calories in versus calories out is basically determines how you look. But where you get those calories from will determine how you feel and what you will lose and gain on your. So like if you're depending on proteins and carbs and your balance of that, it's going to determine what you're losing and what you're maintaining. So macronutrients and micronutrients greatly affects how you look and feel. But the calories in versus calories out determines what your weight on the scale. So you really want to make sure you're addressing both of those. That means you need to be super nourished. and you also want to watch your calories. If you're using already and you're really comfortable with another app, calorie tracker app, keep up with it. That's fine. So your first assignment for the first week is just to log everything you eat, because we really kind of need to do a diet recall. If you've ever been to trying to get a loan or something like that, and you've had to manage money and try to figure out if you can afford something, the first thing to do is like, I need your budget. Tell me what you're spending, and then we can go from there. That's exactly what the Lose It app will do. Log your food for the first week, because we need to know what you're spending. But the Lose It app will, if you put in your information, your height, your age, and all that kind of stuff, it'll tell you how many calories for you to that you can eat. And then it will do a pie graph. You can click on any of the meals, or you can click on the end of the day, my day, and it'll show you your pie graph for the day of where you're getting those calories from. So we just want you to focus on getting the calories that it's telling you, staying within that ratio. It'll be super low minus your workout. When you add your workout in, I'm guessing it'll probably be between 1,200 and 1,500 calories. That's pretty much the average, it seems like, once somebody puts in one workout. So just know that if it tells you 900 calories, or 800 calories, don't freak out. That's just minus any kind of activity. The other thing you want to look at is your pie graph. 33, 33, 33 is what we're looking for. Just a basic split right down the middle of how many calories and grams of your stuff that you're getting.
But for an American diet, that's really considered low carb. If you're only getting 33% of your calories from carbohydrates, in America, that's really considered low carb. It's actually considered high fat and protein. So just keep that in mind. But we have seen incredible benefits as far as how your body performs, and how the aesthetic, the looks, how your body changes.
Yeah, Americans just eat too many carbs, and this will help you be at least more aware of what you're eating and make some healthier choices to help you reach your goals. You're going to be doing a lot of really hard work in the gym. We don't want you to blow it on the diet, and we want you to get the most out of this whole workout. And I know one thing that I've noticed more than anything with our boot camps and why they work so well and why people keep on coming back is because of the education you learn during them. It's not just what you do in boot camp that matters, it's what you take home from the whole experience, what you learn logging, what you learn in class. It's something, it's like going to school for a month. So that's the basic breakdown for what your goals are with nutrition. Is just logging and tracking your macronutrients.
I want to say this now, though, with logging. So the first week you guys are going to log as you go along. That is not the goal. The goal is the log is going to give you a diet recall of what you're eating. The following week, you're going to go back. You're going to find the days you felt really good, and yet you hit your 33, 33, 33 within your caloric expenditure, intake, the calories you were allowed to eat. You're going to use those days to set up a menu. So the next week, you log ahead of time. So if this is Monday, I've already got in my app what I'm going to eat on Tuesday. I don't do it as I go along because it's too easy to fail. So if you fail to plan, then you should plan to fail, that kind of thing. So with the Lose It app or whatever app you're using, the first week it's okay. You log your food because you want to see some behaviors and some diet recall. The second week, you want to log ahead of time. You want to do it in advance. And then you also want to prep your food in advance. You don't want to leave a restaurant and then look up how many calories you ate.
Oh, that's the worst feeling.
Right?
Done it before. Gone to Starbucks, got a coffee and a low fat something or other to snack on, and realized that it was literally wiped away 2 of my workouts. How depressing was that? So learned the hard way on that one. So definitely, and don't try to go by memory. We forget so much. Everything from our creamer we put in our coffee and that kind of stuff. So if you are logging as you're eating, you literally need to be logging as you're eating. Don't wait until you're done with the meal to start logging. Ideally doing it beforehand is even better. The Lose It app, if you upgrade to premium, you can plan ahead. And you can also copy meals and copy whole, even there's ways to make it manageable so you're not having to log everything fresh and new every single day.
There's another jewel too that not everybody takes advantage of, and it's probably, to me, it's worth the entire fee for the entire boot camp, and that is our BCX manual. Even though there's a few typos left, we've had this manual going for quite some time, and it's something that we really spend a lot of time, energy, and a lot of research doing. So use your boot camp manuals. You guys that have done boot camps before, get it printed out, put it in a binder or have it bound, and read through it. Take some notes, bring it to class with you. Pull me aside, pull Travis or Paula aside, and ask us some questions, because the boot camp manual is just a wealth of knowledge.
And you'll see some of the people that are the most successful, they have a binder, they have their materials in it, they store their weekly in bodies in it, and they're super organized in tracking their progress. And it is empowering to have that information, and it is so cool. Later down the road, we all go through our ups and downs with diet. And it's so cool to, even on those bad days where you're like, oh my gosh, I've been on vacation and I feel like I've gained weight, and you do an in-body and you compare it to a prior in-body, and you see the reality of, oh, I'm not as bad as I thought I was, as I only need to lose. And so the information that you're collecting is super valuable and encouraging, to show you, where you are in comparison to another date, and where you're headed. So those are some tips for us from us for the whole, to use the boot camp properly and to make the most of the boot camp. We are going to have weekend homeworks, so you'll be watching those. You want to make sure that you're in our Facebook support group and that you interact. Share your struggles. We don't want you just to tell us and share how much you love boot camp. Those days that are hard, it's okay. The days that you went home and you cried, it's okay. The days that you are really having a hard time dieting, it's okay. Share it. You're human, and there's somebody else that will be encouraged by you sharing. Y'all can encourage each other. The beauty of doing this as a group is that everybody's got a good day and everybody's got a bad day, and we can help each other on those days. When you're down, somebody else can help lift you up, and on those days you're up, you can lift somebody up with you. So
there's a few things we can also do to secure success in boot camp, because I know on the days when you've really tied it over and you've eaten too much or you've drank too much, the next day you're so ready to diet. But after you've been dieting for 10 days, you're ready to kind of go the other way. So we tend to lose motivation. That's just kind of the human condition, that we get all prompt and ready to do something. We want to attack it. But sooner or later, life happens and we're going to lose motivation. But we can determine to do things. We can choose to do them regardless of how we feel. So the first thing, show up. If you just show up, decide to show up regardless of how you feel. I'm not talking about if you're sick. Please don't come to class and get us all sick. But make sure you also cancel 24 hours in advance to get somebody else that's well. All right, but anyway, show up, guys. We're talking about kind of 12 mandatory classes, 2 optional classes. So show up. The next thing is get on the Facebook. Get on our group. Because even if you're getting on and whining, somebody else is going to encourage you. And they're going to say, oh, I was in the same place before. Or perhaps you're going to be the one to encourage somebody else. But either way, you're going to get encouraged. Even if somebody else whines with you, you still feel like, oh, somebody else hates Steve too. So that's great. So anyway, show up. Get on the Facebook group at least twice a week. So I want you to leave at least 2 messages per week. And the last thing that's going to ensure your success is the logging ahead of time. So food prep and log ahead of time. Get on the Facebook group each week, at least leave 2 messages, and show up to every class. Now the logging, you don't have to log 7 days a week, all your snacks. If you just log 3 days a week, show up to 3 classes, and get on Facebook, let's just say 3 times, that's going to be a recipe for success. The last thing I'm going to ask you to do before you guys start, so I'm hoping you watch this all the way to the end. I know it's been kind of a long video, but what's going to help you determine to continue this is if you decide why you're doing this boot camp. And at first glance, all of our whys about anything we do tends to be a little bit narcissistic. It tends to be about us. Like if I decided, why am I doing this boot camp? Well, it's because I want to lose weight. So I was the first thing I thought of, me. I want to lose weight. But then if I'm like, if Bonnie says, Steve, well, why do you want to lose weight? I'm like, well, because I'm feeling a little heavy and I want to fit in my clothes. So my first, I want to lose weight. And the second why was I want to fit in my clothes. If she continues to ask me why do you want to fit in your clothes? Well, I want to fit in my clothes because I want to feel more confident, more attractive. Okay, so that's three I's. I. About the fourth why, it's going to be about somebody else. Why do you want to feel more attractive and confident? Well, because I think you're beautiful, and when we walk around, I want people to be proud of the husband that you have. So all of a sudden, my fourth why is about Bonnie. Well, why do you want to be an attractive husband for me? Well, because I want you to be happy with me. So by a fifth why, 4 or 5 in, almost everybody is going to have this. Everybody's fourth or fifth why, it's going to be about somebody else.
Your kids, your spouse, a better worker or friend, having more energy. There's one of the biggest ones we see a lot is parents that realize how much of a drag of a parent they've been because they don't go out and play with their kids and don't have the energy to keep up and stuff. And so like Steve's saying, you keep on peeling back those layers, and it may seem redundant, but I challenge you. How many whys do you think we should give them?
5. I want to do
Five?
5. And do this in your car, do this in the bed before you fall asleep. But whatever your last why is, I want you to write that down. And I want you to look at that why every single day. Because if you're going to go left into Lurius Plaza to Max, or right to stay on US 1 and go home, you're going to go left into Max every single time if you just remember the real why. Not the narcissistic why, but I want to be a better mom. Well, I better go to class. Guys, it's only 45 minutes 3 times a week to be a better mom. What an investment. So invest in yourself, figure out those whys, write them down, and then remember the other 3 keys to success is just show up, 3 Facebooks, and 3 days of logging your food. You guys will really be bound for success. I've seen too many testimonies.
Now, the last thing I want to leave y'all with is a challenge. I am looking for some people that want to lose weight, and if y'all are needing help with nutrition, you want to lose a massive amount of weight, you want to really like take this up, like you want to make the most of it, contact me and submit your before picture and send it to bonnie.lee@me.com. That's bonnie.lee@me.com. It's only going to me privately, and I'm just going to put it in a nice little folder so nobody sees it until it's done. I want your before picture. That's going to tell me you're committed. And if you want to get on the nutrition to help you boost that, I will help you with that. I'll do whatever I can, but I want to give away a free boot camp. I want to do something really cool for people that are super motivated and really want to lose some weight. If that would help you take your commitment up a notch. I'm working on something with another couple of businesses in town to do a prize pack and stuff like that. But if you want to take your commitment up a notch and really do some massive, and you want to be that before and after success story, you want to maybe even motivate other people to reach a certain goal, and like if you can do it, anybody can, and you want to be that motivation that so many people need in your life. Let me know. Send me your picture and I will know, and I'll reach out to you. I'll help you, and we'll enter you into that little contest, okay? All right, so listen, you guys have a good weekend. Food prep, go get your chicken, go get your fibrous carbs, and when you go into the Facebook group, you can look up the shopping list of all the things that you can eat. Look up your manual, get prepared, study, get ready. Monday's gonna be a great day. You'll be with Paulo for a lower body workout. And it'll be a phenomenal week. We're really excited to have you, and we're excited to have a lot of you repeaters back. Y'all are just our family, really. So have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye, guys.